It's been more than a year. 1 year of lies, deceit, cover-ups, fake news, propaganda, and the kind. 1 year of disrespecting soldiers. 1 year of not giving them their due recognition. China is a demented state. One wonders if it can even be clubbed as a human civilization under the Chinese Communist Party. 1 year after the Galwan Valley clash, in which India thrashed the living daylights out of the Chinese sissies, the CCP is still adding to its fertility count. China is still lying. It is still probably speaking, faking it. Its Galwan casualty numbers are fake. To make them seem real, China is adding cringe-worthy tales of heroism to the obituaries of Chinese soldiers the CCP never even wanted to admit had died in Ladakh last year. In essence, however, China has finally claimed defeat. Watch this video to understand how. Hi and welcome. You're watching TFI English, the national and socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Diksha, and in this video, I will explain to you how China is unwillingly and gradually beginning to disclose the number of casualties it suffered in Galwan last year. It's going to be a long, tiring process spanning multiple years, but it promises to be fun. So, let's begin. The Chinese are funny people. Of course, we mean the Chinese communists. They are a bunch of clowns who think they have it all under control, even while their own backyard, home and pants are on fire. 20 brave Indian soldiers were killed in action. Innumerable Chinese little emperors were dispatched with a one-way ticket to the eternal kingdoms as well. However, India is a dignified, rule-based and a dharmic nation. China, on the other hand, is a mockery of a nation-state. It is a communist dictatorship. So while the Modi government admitted the casualties suffered by India in the Galwan Valley crash and released the names of those bravehearts martyred while protecting their motherland from Chinese invaders, the Chinese Communist Party first dismissed the entire prospect of the People's Liberation Army having suffered any human losses. Then it went on to admit, after 7 months in February this year, that 4 of its soldiers had been killed as well. India, meanwhile, has awarded the highest war decorations to those soldiers slain in Galwan last year. Now, Chinese Foreign Ministry pamphlets, Xinhua News and Global Times have come out to report that not 4 but 5 Chinese soldiers were killed during the Galwan Valley bloody brawl with India last year. This revelation comes in the backdrop of domestic pressure mounting on the CCP to honor those PLA soldiers and officers slain during last year's clash in the Himalayas. In a post-facto, fictitious tale glorifying a slain Chinese soldier's so-called heroics, Global Times has claimed that Chen Hongjun died along with his 4 comrades in arms. According to Global Times' emotional thriller, as he saw several soldiers were besieged by Indian troops, Chen Hongjun once again turned around without hesitation and led the soldiers to charge again at the battleground. This was after Chen had, according to Chinese state media reportage, a year after the incident, rushed forward against the stones that were being hurled and the blows from sticks wielded by Indian troops. Global Times also declared Chinese victory over India, as it said, it is Chinese officers and soldiers' shared belief to live or to die together in the battlefield that had helped earn the victory over Indian troops with fewer people during the Galwan Valley clash in June 2020. It did not, however, say whether it was the shared belief of the CCP functionaries to deliberately withhold information from the Chinese public, especially when it relates to the death of PLA soldiers. It also did not say whether it is the shared belief of the CCP at large and Xi Jinping's lackeys specially to falsely claim victory over India. when in fact the PLA troops were respectfully handed their bottoms by the Indian Army in June last year. In fact, China has been made to face the fury of India and its patriotic citizens even after the Galwan Valley clash. Indians vowed to not buy Chinese products, and the large public anger against China led to India decoupling from the Red Rogue state. The Modi government has since given a massive push to infrastructure development all along the line of actual control, which is the effective Indo-Tibetan border. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also joined the Free World Order in its anti-China campaign. India is no longer to try remain in the good books of China. Instead, under Prime Minister Modi, India is reviving the cause of Tibetan freedom, as was recently visible when the Prime Minister publicly extended greetings to the Dalai Lama on his birthday. Prime Minister Modi is also expected to meet the Dalai Lama once the COVID-19 situation stabilizes. The latest revelation by China, complemented with a riveting fan fiction account of what Chinese little emperors were made to go through by Indian soldiers, is a desperate attempt by the CCP to save face and to also quell growing anger among the Chinese citizens who are continuously demanding that those slain during the clashes last year be honored. While China satiates itself with thrilling accounts of events from last year's clashes and tries to paint a victorious picture of itself falsely, India has been working overtime to counter any Chinese threat in the region. In a historic shift last month, at least 50,000 Indian troops were redirected to the northern border with China, taking India's total troop tally in the region to well over 2 lakhs, signaling an increase of more than 40% from last year. Therefore, at a time when China is engaging in propaganda, which would put Joseph Goebbels to shame, India is getting ready to whack the PLA if they so desire in the foreseeable future.